The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views or ideas of the staff or management of KWSH or the 110 Broadcast Group.
Good morning and welcome to the Seminole Nation radio program. I'm your host, all by myself this week, Edwin Marshall. I'm glad to be back with you today. We got a lot of announcements. We got a lot of things going on in Indian country, and so not only the Seminole Nation, but we got a special thing going on in the state capitol today. It's a 6th annual Indian Education Legislative Day. We're going to be talking to some folks remote from there today and kind of see what's going on up there. It's at the Oklahoma Judicial Center at 2100 North Lincoln. Started at 8:30 this morning. It'll go to 1 o'clock. And then at 1 o'clock, there's going to be a march to the Capitol. So we're going to be talking to Bo Whitekiller and a couple of other guys and maybe even a guest on the show, depending on what we get lined up. But we're going to get started moment. Ogida hayu ya lagat no mari shimaloni over no man nagyo kizira nagyo nakauzagt no machimokil kizira dango malani irundor. Moment anio nagades amokil kizi puis kunskino momid all well fatsongad. Nagades and uzis kajono ad nagi kitlo hoenzias no ad. Bo Whitekiller Maui kitcheno ad moment naksimokil kizi bida at uibezo is moment mahongat kadano mari. 405-382-1010. We're going to get started with some church announcements like we do every week. And we've got a list of the churches, Muskogee Seminole Wichita Association, 4 Sunday church service dates. Starting with Artisy Baptist Church, that's over near Eufaula. Beaver Baptist Church down in Cherokee Country. Even though it's in Cherokee Country, it's associated with the association churches. Also, Bemo Baptist Church near Bixby. Also, Bird Creek Indian Baptist Church, that's over near Sasakwa. Buckeye Creek, and that's over near Castle. Deep Fork Hillubby, and that's over there between Eufaula and Shakota. Faith Baptist Church in Dustin. Hickory Ground number 2, it's down near Henrietta. Little Casita, and I'm not sure whether this is a Indian Baptist or Methodist church. I understand there's 2 of them. But also Miccosukee, just out here south of Seminole. Middle Creek number 2, down near Holdenville. Montezuma Indian Baptist over there between Okeem and Okmulgee. Okfuskee Indian Baptist near Eufaula. Pecan Grove Methodist over near Holdenville. Rock Springs Baptist near Sasakwa. Sand Creek Eufaula, and that's over near Wewoka. Tomajuzzy Baptist Church down near Lamar. And finally, Wetumpka Indian Baptist Church. It's out there just north of, or actually south of Wetumpka. Just a couple miles outside of town. Those are your church meetings this week. Those are 4th or 8th Sunday meetings, depending on the church. But they'd be glad to have you to come as a visitor. So come on out. All right. Got a few other things to announce. Birthdays. Today we have a birthday listed for Shauna Burgess. Happy birthday. Also Wednesday, Jana Larney. That's Walter's daughter, I believe. And then Saturday, Holly Renee Factor. Then on Sunday, April Warlito and Louisa Proctor. Then next Monday, Zachary Wise. That's going to be his birthday. So happy birthday, everybody. We'll be expanding our list as we go on. We're going to start announcing birthdays more often. So listen for your name when your birthday comes up. If not, call Bo at 382 1010. That's 405-382-1010. Ask for Angela and tell them what your birth date is. Okay, the OAP program over in Wewoka, the Older Americans program, today they're having a loaded baked potato with pudding in a salad bar. And then tomorrow it's chicken and rice, mixed vegetables, wheat bread, and fresh fruit. I don't have the whole menu right now, but we'll have it next week, I'm sure. But that's all we have for today. So come on out there. If you're 55 or older, Native American, you're eligible to come and eat with them. Got a lot of job openings that we want to mention real quickly. I'm just not going to go into detail, but Seminole Nation, the tribal office, has several jobs through the tribe. We've got a job for a cashier in Wewoka, a Johnson O'Malley program coordinator in Seminole, a wellness technician in Seminole, a cashier at the Travel Plaza in Seminole, a cashier at the Travel Plaza in River Mist. It's in near Conway. Also a Head Start director in Seminole, a food and beverage attendant at the Gaming Enterprise in Conway, the maintenance manager at the Gaming Enterprise in Seminole, and a cook at the Seminole Nation Gaming Enterprise in Conway. Also, we've got some job openings through gaming. Opening for a drop count clerk in Wewoka, a main banker in Wewoka, a cash ops lead in Wewoka, cage cashier in Wewoka, a EVS attendant in Wewoka, and Players Club attendant in Wewoka, a manager on duty in Seminole, security officer in Wewoka, facility maintenance worker in Conway, and a food and beverage attendant in Conway. For those are the jobs in gaming. So if you're interested in any of these, call personnel at 405-257-7200. All right, earn extra money and help your community. There's part-time jobs available 20 to 30 hours a week with the Census Bureau. And if you're interested, you can call them at 1-855-JOB-2020. That's 1-855-JOB-2020. All right, coming up on March 1st, American Indian Graduate Center presents Empowering Scholars Summit. And you can contact Mike Logan at 405-257-7200 if you're interested in that. And then coming up February the 8th, there's going to be the annual Seminole Nation Princess Committee Stomp Dance at the Miccosukee Mission Gym. There's going to be a lot of activities that night. Raffles. Actually, supper is going to be at 5 o'clock till 6:15. Then the dance will start at 7. There's going to be raffles, 50/50s, cakewalks. Also, vendors, if you're interested in coming out and setting up your booth, space is $10 plus one donated item. Contact Velma Coker at 405-380-3848. Bernita Whitekiller at 580-665-8002. Or Gina Langford at 405-471-3038. Also, I want to announce that the patchwork class that was scheduled for today has been canceled due to the weather and rescheduled for February the 11th and the 18th from 1 to 3. That's June Lee. Her patchwork class has been canceled. But February the 11th and 18th will resume. Seminole Nation Housing Authority is now taking applications for tiny homes. If we've been working on that project for a while. If you're interested, call them at 405-257-6604. They're ready to rent those out, so get on out there. Chair aerobics, Tuesdays and Thursdays. It began in January, and it'll go until April 30th at the Senior Citizen Center in Wewoka. And it goes from 10 to 10:45, and the application is needed and available at the Seminole Nation Diabetes Program, online or via email. For more information, contact the front desk at 405-234-5246. Also, water aerobics. Let's see. That began yesterday. Mondays and Wednesdays from 9 to 10 a.m. and 6 to 7 p.m. in the evening, February 3rd through April 29th. You can contact the front desk at 405-234-5246. Program Director is Amanda Upshaw. And that's held at the Seminole State College pool, I think it is. So once again, contact them at 405-234-5246. 2020 Health and Fitness Challenge, a 6-week course began in January, goes through February 17th. Actually, that's almost over, but if you're interested in nutrition, cooking demos, exercise training with partners, and weekly weigh-ins, contact Kyla Harjo at 405-234-5246. All right, looks like there's going to be a cooking demonstration coming up. Seminole Nation Food and Nutrition Services. It'll be held Wednesday, February 19th from 12 to 1 at the Seminole Nation Housing Authority in Wewoka. That's at 101 South Hijiti. I guess Rex is going to is going to teach us how to cook. Learn how to cook salmon and rice. Next, Women's Self-Defense Course, a class for 16 years and older. It'll be on February the 29th. Class is going to be from 10 to 3 o'clock. Please call to reserve one of our 20 available spots. Each participant will receive an incentive. Please wear comfortable clothing. Training will be hands-on experience. The Seminole Nation CHR and Diabetes Programs putting it on. Contact Ciara at 405-234-5243. All right. Seminole Nation Adult Education Clothes Closet is open. You can go over there if you're in need of clothes. They're free and open to the public. Contact 405-716-6040. There's going to be a cornhole tournament for Seminole Nation employees on Sunday, February 23rd. There's a $5 entry fee for singles, $10 for doubles, prizes for first and second. Bags will be provided, or you can bring your own bags. Contact Victor Bear at 405-683-0071. All right, here's a program, TAP Workshop. Start to grow your own seeds for your gardens. It's going to be done at the Uchi Butterfly Farm in Bixby, 14024 East 171st Street, South. That's going to be Friday, February 7th. That's this Friday from 9:30 to 4 o'clock. Contact for more information, Jane Breckenridge, Tribal Alliance for Pollinators at 651-343-8951. All right, there's going to be information meeting with Chief Chilcote on Saturday, February the 8th at the Moore Indian Baptist Church Community Talk, a town hall style meeting. It'll be held February 29th. That's on February the 8th. Then on February 29th at the Senior Citizen in Wewoka, Chief Chilcote will also be conducting a community meeting. You're invited to attend and share with the Chief any questions or concerns that you may have. A potluck is on the menu. Share your best dish. Everyone's welcome to participate in fellowship. Also, there's a deadline approaching. The deadline to submit Seminole Nation BIE scholarship application is February 14th. Make sure to mail your application to the correct address, which is Seminole Nation Higher Education, P.O. Box 464, Seminole, Oklahoma. Incomplete applications will not be funded. You can contact Clara Kapelik at 405-716-6041. Intertribal hymn singing, Monday, April 6th. The meal starts at 6 o'clock. Singing will be from 7 to 9 at the Seminole Museum, Pleistocene Plaza, free and open to the public. I went to that last year. Man, that was a good event. I really enjoyed it. 18th Annual Oklahoma Native American Youth Language Fair. So if you're interested in that, once again, it'll be at the Seminole Museum, Pleistocene Plaza. at OU there on Monday, April the 6th. Meal starts at 6, and the singing is 7 to 9. Middle Creek number 1 Indian Taco Sale. It's going to be held Saturday, February the 8th at 107 River Oaks in Holdenville from 11 o'clock until they're through. $7 for taco and drink. All right. That's our news for this week. Once again, I did mention to you that we would be speaking to a live remote. I think Bo Whitekiller is on the line waiting for us. And Bo, are you there?
Yes, Jay.
Hey, Stone Good, Javon.
I'm doing all right. Also, next to me, communications and language DNA person, Jeremy Fultz.
Jeremy Fultz. How about Delaney? Delaney there with you?
Delaney, and we also have David. He's also inside the big chamber. If you can hear us in the echo right now, we're out just outside the big.
Yeah, sounds like it. You're in the rotunda, aren't you?
But we're just outside. They're continuing to finish up the legislative day here, the 6th annual legislative day. Very, very informative. Very, very enlightening. What do you think, Joe?
Yeah, very good so far. They've been talking about data collection, the students having the ability and the option to wear regalia and the feathers during graduation, and then
so they're going to affect state law maybe to so this we won't have this controversy every year.
Right. What we're having right now is the speakers are actually presenting some of the information so that the students, educators that are here in attendance, and also too because we're recording it, you'll see it too. But just breaking it down to where being that we can be involved in it. That we should be involved in it because we have a voice. Great turnout with young people here and some of the folks that are presenting today.
Yeah, and at 1 p.m. today, Edwin, the crowd's going to also walk over to the state capitol, and they've been providing information on how to find who your legislator is or your state rep, so you can have them talks with your state reps.
What beside the regalia issue, what other types of issues are basically being highlighted?
Well, one of the things they're talking about, they had one of the speakers, Dr. Cornell Febuary. He's a famed educator from the area.
Oh yes, absolutely.
And what he's saying is that the schooling itself is political. Everything that you have to do, going to board meetings, maybe being active in school events and activities. That you got to be involved. You can't sit back and watch things happen. You've got to be able to.
That's always been my feeling, especially about Johnson O'Malley meetings and what's the other Title IV Indian education programs that the schools administer. They have boards and things like that set up, but I feel like that's not the most effective way for patrons, school patrons, native patrons, parents of children to be involved. I feel like that there needs to be more of a way that they can be listened to about how those monies are being spent and so forth.
One of the things I think me and Jeremy can agree on, because some of the things that they've been saying, we've been taking notes, but one of the things that stood out for me was having an educator familiar with the culture should be the norm.
Yes.
You have your education. One of the things Dr. Febuary does is he has a summertime gathering of instructors where he lets them know about native culture and what things to be familiar with. So
Bo, that's and I don't want to throw everybody in a basket here. There are a lot of schools, a lot of administrations who work closely with their native parents, and for a long time I was really enthused about the way Tulsa Public Schools worked with their native programs, and then something kind of happened lately. It just kind of like they took the back seat with native education and native, has there been any discussion about what's going on in Tulsa?
No, not specifically. There's a limited amount of time on the speakers that they have. They're trying to, they've got a lot of things they're trying to do. And again, a lot of the highlights that they bring out are things that are talking points.
Currently, a lot of the talking points are current House bills, like what Dr. Febuary brought up was House Bill 3046, and being a proponent of that House bill because that allows the freedom to wear the regalias and the eagle feathers.
Okay, well, that's great. I'd like to see that matter resolved. And it can be done, legislatively. I think, and just make it I guess a policy of the state education department for all schools, and I think that's very important because, and another thing too is, and I understand what the schools have to face. There's a great plethora of cultures out there. I mean, we're talking 39 tribes right here in Oklahoma, and so each school is located in the jurisdiction of a different tribe, or sometimes in the jurisdiction of two or three tribes. Wewoka is a good example where they're at a crossroads with the Seminole, Chickasaw, Creek Nations, all right here, and the Seminole Public Schools is very diverse. But even at that, I think schools could go a long ways in familiarizing themselves with tribal cultures, and and they do a good job at Wewoka. I'm not saying they're not, but other schools, and then there's schools that don't have jurisdictions, tribal jurisdictions. Oklahoma City and everything basically north of there, but Oklahoma City is very diverse as far as tribal cultures and tribes in the school system.
Well, I think that's one thing about the diversity. I know whenever you learn more about other cultures, nations, you learn a lot more about yourself and learn to appreciate yourself, and that goes back to self-esteem, self-awareness of self, and that's kind of what's being pushed here today. We have a lot of schools represented here today, a lot of different tribes, and it's just really been a really good experience so far.
And it's not just one tribe or two tribes. The pot is kind of helping host this meeting, but there's schools from Anadarko, Riverside, even up in Sand Springs and Charles Page and Broken Arrow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Another thing that we just got through before we came on air to talk with you, it was we have Chief Choco. He's up here representing one of the only tribal leaders, I believe, so far that's up here. But he was asked to speak, and he got up and was able to share some of the encouragement for some of these kids there's not anything you cannot do, and used himself as an example because of that. He is now chief of the nation. So.
And he followed Lisa Billy, as we know, that just resigned from Governor Stitt's cabinet, and she kind of shared some information that maybe you don't see in the media a lot. So stay tuned to Seminole Nation Communications and some of the videos that we'll put out, because we'll share some of that exclusive footage with you guys.
I know you will. You guys are good at that stuff. I'm glad to hear that she's still staying active regarding issues having to do with Native people and especially students as well. Has there been any? Well, I asked you that already, but there are so many issues to address, just like Governor Stitt's stance on tribal, but that has nothing to do with education except for the funding, of course, and maybe that should be a point of discussion, having to do with tribal gaming. Has there been anything said about that?
Well, there has been. The education legislative board did a really good job on putting this conference together and this learning day together, because it's been brought out that the indigenous people have the lowest graduation rate among other cultures and races in the state of Oklahoma. And so they started off with accruing that information, and it's kind of up to us to provide the state with accurate information on our students. But then it went into it's okay to be indigenous while you're in school and in high school. And then that's where they went to the funding, and that's where Lisa Billy came in. And you got to have the student data, and you've got to have the funding to be able to raise those graduation rates. And so it kind of all went together. Lisa went into how the boards have to approve that money, and right now Governor Stitt's not accepting that money that's being provided by the casino funds and the revenue that the tribes are sitting in, because he's saying it's an illegal operation. And so that's kind of a hot button topic right now.
I know
that's kind of like what's that saying go? cutting off your nose to spite your face. I mean, turning money down that's already there, and nobody's suffering but the education,
Right, and having viewed the state of the state address yesterday, in its 45-minute totality, the gaming part, which I was kind of waiting to see what he was saying, was only about a minute and a half, a couple of sentences from. So if you do happen to see the state address, look at about 36-minute mark, and it'll come up.
Well, let me ask you this: when you walk over to the state capitol, will you be able to lobby legislators today?
Actually,
Well, they are in session.
They are in session, and one of the things that Lisa did give us was a safe word to go in there and then say, "I'm your constituent." And while they're in session, you're able to get a note to one of your legislators and talk to them personally. But use that word, "I'm a constituent." Open doors.
And I think it's important, us as tribal members and Native people, we always want to talk to our council reps or our band reps. But we also are represented by these people that are in our district. And so we still have a voice, even though we're indigenous. We have a voice to them council reps that you can let them know, too, in the listening audience, that you are their constituent. You're in their voting district.
Is it the House and the Senate in session? Both?
Not my good stuff.
Is it the House and the Senate both in session?
I think it's just the Senate right now. I think it's just the Senate. So we'll get more back with you on that once we make that 100-yard trek into the rain and wind to the state capitol. Might be snow by the end of the day, right? Right.
Well, I'm kind of encouraged by some of the reaction that I've been hearing from some of the legislators, both in the House and the Senate, regarding the gaming activity discussions, because I think they understand it better than the governor does, and so that's kind of like it's looking good from every perspective except the governor's. And so,
well, that's like this day today. It's geared toward educators and students, but as we continue to move on this path with the state, it's important to let. I'm looking at young kids today that are out there in this audience right here, and it's really encouraging, and hopefully we can take some of this back, and hopefully those that are listening out there, grandmas, grandpas, aunts, uncles, moms, dads, sisters, brothers, just get involved. You've got to get involved. You got to educate. Sometimes it's boring, yes, I understand, but this is an important part of who we are as Tejati.
Do we have any reps from our local schools, Seminole County schools?
Delaney Pinnock from Varnum.
Officials.
They also had some legislators here this morning. The House went into session this morning at 9:45.
Oh, so the House is in session.
Yeah.
Oh.
I believe. I might be having my forms of government all messed up right now. I'm not sure, but there were a few legislators that were here this morning that was talking about, especially like the murdered, missing Indigenous women bills they're trying to get through the House as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
Well, our time is almost up. Edwin,
hey, listen, stop by when you're out lobbying. Go by Scott Fettgatter's office. Scott Fettgatter.
I'll do that right after.
Good friend of mine. Yes, tell him Edwin said. Hey.
Hey, we just want to let everybody out there in Seminole Nation know that it is a good day to be Indigenous. Every day is a good day to be Indigenous, and we want to thank KWSH for allowing us this opportunity to do over the air. Thank you, Dennis.
Sure. All right. I'll see you when you get back, guys.
All right.
But all right. That's Bo and Jeremy on the line at the state capitol, and we'll have more to come, and I'm sure that we'll be posting stuff on the Seminole Nation Facebook page as well as website regarding some of the activity that's going on at the Legislative Day. It's actually Indian Education Legislative Day, but almost any issue that you deal with regarding natives in Oklahoma eventually is connected to Indian education. So whatever it may be, we'll be reporting on those. I want to thank those guys for coming on today. And I want to thank you for listening to KWSH AM 1260 and FM 97.7. It's Edwin Marshall We'll be back again next week with the Seminole Nation radio program, Mado.